Alright guys, so we've got the OCD 180SX up on the hoist. Starting with the rears, we've got a 5-stud conversion here. You can see we've got five studs for the wheel there. And what that involved was replacing the entire rear brake and handbrake assembly with an R33 GTST assembly. So we took the old hubs off, put the new hubs on, put the R33 drum brake assembly on there. We also had to get some R33 handbrake cables to connect those up, and then we use an adapter plate to allow us to connect the S13 handbrake to the R33 brake cables. The reason for that is that the R33 brake cables won't actually bolt into the chassis of the car, so we just use a little adapter plate. You can make one yourself. There's plenty of plans online, or just get one from Tarks, tarks.com.au for almost no money. Now going around to the front, I'll swing the light around a bit as well. So we've got 4 studs there. Now this car is actually running what looks to be Nissan S14 calipers. It's got these ribs there, which are very similar to the Z32 or 300ZX caliper. They're good. They run a 280mm disc, but we're upgrading to the R33 GTST calipers, mostly because I got the whole thing as a kit, and they run a 296mm. You can upgrade to the R33 GDR calipers, which run a 324mm brake disc, but it's a lot of money, and in my experience, the R33 GDST calipers are more than adequate for stopping an S13. You have to bear in mind the R33 was a lot heavier than the S13, so they pull up like just ridiculously, really. Very easy to lock the brakes up if you're not careful. If we come around to the this side here, I've actually replaced them with replaced the hub with an S15 5-stud hub there. Got a bit of surface rust, nothing to be worried about. Hit it with some WD-40 or something like that to just seal it off, and it should be fine. And we're actually using an S15 knuckle there as well. You can use a S13 knuckle, and then you can get these adapter hubs from various aftermarket companies. Some are good, some are bad. The reason I chose to go with the S15 was to retain the ABS. I haven't found any aftermarket S13 5-stud adapters that retain the ABS. So, being a street car, it's a good idea to retain the ABS. When you switch to the S15 hub, you need to actually change the lower control arm, just right there, I'm pointing at there, to an S15 one as well. The alternative is to use the S13 control arm, but then press out the S15 ball joint and put that into the S13 control arm, but it's a lot of effort. The benefit of the S15 control arm is also that it's about 15mm wider, allows you to run a bit more negative camber, as well as increase the track width of the car, so giving you more front end grip there. You can see the MCA XR series suspension. That was the first modification we did to the car. When we bought the car, it came with some no-name brand coilovers that were super stiff, had no compliance, didn't ride very well. Putting the MCAs in netted an immediate improvement in grip levels and compliance. So what money well spent there. The purple, or the X series, are basically blues, which is the entry-level coilover, but running the internals from the red, and they're custom valved. So the difference is that with the reds, you can revalve them to suit different situations. With the XR, the purples, you can't, but you speak to MCA and you come up with a good combination. So I highly recommend speaking to the guys at MCA, and they'll sort you out with a good setup for your car. We've got a Kawasaki ER6NL bike here at the moment, and we've got an old Honda Civic there. It's an 87 or 88 model, just belongs to a friend. The other thing you need to do when changing the S15 knuckles is actually get some sleeves made up, or you can purchase these sleeves from tarks.com.au. They're like 15 bucks. Now I'll demonstrate. I've got a S15 knuckle, and this here is the bolt that attaches the suspension to the upright to the knuckle. So let's put that in this hole here. So it fits, it's quite loose. So if you were to use that, you could theoretically use it if you tighten it up heaps, but you're gonna have wheel alignment issues. This sleeve here, quite simply goes in there. Just tap it in, and then this goes there. And if you look at that, it's a perfect fit, so you won't have any wheel alignment issues. The other upgrade I've done is replace the tie rods and the tie rod ends with high misalignment spherical tie rod ends from GK Tech. From here, it's a really nice piece of hardware. Got some bump steer correction inbuilt as well. And we've got the 14mm option, so then we got some 14mm thick tie rods from GK Tech as well. They're a bit thicker than standard ones, give a bit more abuse, will take a bit more abuse, and should overall give better results. So hopefully it's about nearly 2 a.m. now, so hopefully we'll get most of this done tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, and then hopefully bleed the brakes up and get them all running tomorrow, because I do need this car off the hoist by Tuesday. We've got some work coming in, so it's gonna be a long night. But thanks for watching. See you next time.